This is KHQA Overtime with Chris Duerr, brought to you by Hollister Whitney.
And this is Saturday, October the 5th, and you have indeed entered overtime, where I'm working late because I'm a sports director who's about to dream come true it for you if you like copious amounts of highlights. To wit, it's been a minute since I've been able to report on college football victories by both Quincy University and Western Illinois University on the same day. We've got that going on, but it is the high school game that captivates most on this Saturday afternoon, the last week 6 game on our slate, arguably the most anticipated, with the WIVC North title hanging in the balance in the Ville today. Jacksonville route at Friesen Field welcoming in Camp Point Central, the defending state champs. It felt a little bit more like August afternoon football in Jacksonville today than what you would expect in October, but nevertheless, it was Caden Niekamp in November form. No surprise there. The future All-Stater showing out yet again and helping to end Route's initial drive with the tackle for loss right there. We've seen that over and over and over again from the junior superstar. He also tallied Central's first down, but Central's first drive on 4th and long stalls right here thanks to an interception by Dalton Brown as he would pick off Elijah Genenbacher, and that would set the table for this. Man, it's Kellen Creviston going up top to Jace Laudeman, who burns not one, but 2 different Panther defenders, makes them fall down, and he's going to marinate and rejoice and luxuriate in it. Yeah, Jace is not one for subtlety, kind of why we like him. 52-yard touchdown, 7-0. The next series, Creviston to Samuel Long right here, and Route Catholic is threatening to go up 2 touchdowns, and on a 1-foot plunge, they do exactly that. It's Creviston, the honorable mention All-State quarterback, putting the ball over and breaking the plane. 14-0. Central woke up immediately. First play after the kickoff. This, my friends, is Zach Ware, and he is gone for 80 yards, right back on the board for his team. The 2-point conversion would be good as well. And that, my friends, thanks to this guy, Nathan Peters, would make it a 14-8 game at that point. But Route would answer right back. I tell you what, Route Catholic is legit. Charlie Allen, who is as fast a back as you will find in this conference, takes the screen, gonna find the sideline, and he ain't stopping. That pickup makes it 21-8 late in the first half. How about 4th down, trying to threaten the red zone here for Central. A little chicanery out of Casey Ray's playbook. Check it out. It's the wingback option pass. Hooks up with Tate Eichen at that point, and that would set up Caden Niekamp to do what he does. Plowing in to cut the lead down to 21-15 at that point. Route still late in the first half had a chance to extend the lead. Really good last-minute offense in this one from Mr. Creviston, who's going to go up top yet again, and this time find Charlie Allen. What a catch, what a run. Sets up a field goal attempt in this one, but Brock Runyon's attempt would be pushed, so it would be a 21-15 lead after the first half. We had a William Faulkner third quarter, sound and fury signifying nothing. But early in the 4th quarter, Central goes back to work and, in fact, goes on a nifty drive, and it would be capped with 5 minutes left by this touchdown rumble right here. That, my friends, by Mr. Peters, makes us tied at 21. Marco Rodriguez is going to step up, the special teams master, kick a PAT. Been a minute since we've seen Central do that. It's 22-21. Route tries to drive the field here to get back into this game and retake the lead. Eli Olson was a monster out there on the edge, but on 4th down and long, it is Caden Niekamp. Who else? The All-Stater with the quarterback sack. It looked like Route Catholic was done. However, the Route Catholic defense forced a 3-and-out with 1:27 seconds left, I believe. And Kellen Creviston going to go back to work in this one, driving the field again. It's Eli Olson here. Then it's Jace Laudeman again into the red zone. 11 seconds left. We had some controversy, although it's not really that controversial. Brock Runyon comes on, first a timeout to ice him, and then Brad Dixon says jump off sides intentionally to ice him a second time. The worst that's going to happen, he puts the field goal on the board, but it's a dead ball foul. So that should have been the game winner, or would have been the game winner, but they took it off the board. Gets to kick it again from closer distance. It's a pretty good gambit because it works. And the chance to walk it off for Route Catholic fails just like that. Central dodges a major bullet today, wins 22-21. You know what? It's not just that you can land the plane. All landings are good landings, especially a win in hostile climbs for Brad Dixon's team today.
Oh, gosh, to shut these guys out in the second half when that first quarter was bad. We gave up some big plays. Both their guys, Nate and Curtis, playing corner. This is Nate's really. He played some against BC, but it's his first game back from injury in a tough spot going against number 2 for them all game long. And then obviously Curtis moving from linebacker and then getting dinged up. So I think we grew up a lot in the second half. You got a freshman safety running around back there, and Coach Scrubson was smart. Throw the ball. I mean, we're green in the secondary. Real proud of how we stopped the run, though, to kind of make them one-dimensional, and we made enough plays.
You may be a Panther fan thinking to yourself, man, that's not an impressive enough win. We've owned Route Catholic over the years. Oh, it could be worse. There was a result even more surprising today in the WIVC as state-ranked undefeated Calhoun, who beat Camp Point Central in Week 2, suffered a surprising and stunning loss at Carrollton today, 10-0. Rumor was 6 first-half turnovers by Calhoun in this one. They got shut out by Rodney Flowers' crew. Big win for the Hawks. We tip your cap to them. But, man, Calhoun stunned today. That's not what you want to see if you're in the WIVC South, and WIVC South, that's easy for me to say. But man, what an outcome we have there. All right, looking ahead to the power poll, won't change all that much this week, although we did move Quincy Notre Dame ahead of Camp Point Central. Hard not to argue that at this point, although the Raiders have themselves a monster test at Krauscher-Rosenberger Field in the Ville next week against the Jacksonville Crimsons, who are as fast an offensive backfield as you will find in the Tri-States. Q&D defense going to be put to the test. The top 3 still undefeated. Bowling Green, buoyed by the big win over Van Far. I mean, you can't really argue the top 3 at this point. We moved Rushville Industry up because they've deserved it. The only loss of the season, that opening night loss to a fantastic Stark County team. You want to find out the rest of our rankings, you'll have to check into Duerrism's coming your way likely on Wednesday night this week, although we already got some of the writing out of the way. We had soccer in the Gem City today. Quincy Notre Dame taking on an absolutely stacked Gateway Legacy squad, nationally ranked coming into this. The Raiders down 2-0. Corner kick by Nolan Heck off the head of Rylan Fisher, and there is TJ Togarepi right there to punch that home. The youngster, really talented athlete, makes it 2-1. You know what? He gave up a bunch of goals today, but that was not Carter Hankins' fault because he's really good. So too is Gateway Legacy, however. Q&D now down 4-1 in this game. Nolan Heck is going to score the Raiders' second goal of the first half. Sweet setup. Great finish for Mr. Heck at this point. Hankins with another big save coming up here to keep it at 4-2. But, man, Gateway Academy is the deal and legit today. They get the win by the final count in this one of 6-2. Speaking of legit, I don't know that people outside of our region realize how good some of the soccer is in central Missouri down by the lake. But Hannibal running the table at the Camdenton tournament this week is big. They take 2 more wins today, does Eric Hill's squad. 2-1 over Carl Junction and 5-2 over Northwest. I believe Maddox Tharp finished the weekend with 3 goals. I don't think he had those 3 goals today. Didn't get a delineation on that. I know he did score yesterday and have an assist, so we're going to assume those were 3 goals over the course of the 2 days. But whatever it is, Hannibal's playing some really good soccer right now. And we are just getting warmed up here on the big overtime show. Coming up next, we've got the Tom Oakley Invitational. I promise you some college football highlights as well. And man, the Highland Lady Cougars were hitting the ball all over the place in Queen City today. Those stories straight ahead.
This is KHQA Overtime with Chris Duerr, brought to you by Hollister Whitney.
Welcome back to Overtime, everybody. You know it's almost time for the postseason in cross country when it's Tom Oakley Invitational Night. Man, a rather warmish day at Bob Mays Park, but the Quincy High girls were even warmer to the task at this one. 1 mile marker. It's Peyton Cool and Amick McClellan, no surprise here, running ahead of the pack. Halfway point, they have separated themselves even further from everybody else in the park because they're really good. Quincy High School's freshman Peyton Cool with a first place finish 1934. Amick comes in at 2004 for second place. Hey, how about we make it a clean sweep for the Blue Devils? Abigail McDonough coming in third in 2139. Amelia Knapp coming in fourth in 2141. And how about in fifth place? It's a full house. Amelia Aarons coming in at 21:42 at that point. Liberty's Brielle Nyssen comes up and breaks up the pack a little bit. 6th place finish with a 21:51. Sophia Schell coming in at 22:05. QED's Megan Spears in 8th at 22:24. Kelsey Friesmeyer of Pittsfield coming in next at 22:36. And Addison Baker 10th. Quincy High School swept the top 5 spots, had 9 of the top 14 finishes. Liberty finishes 2nd, QED 3rd. On the boys' side, Eli Poe, Reed Steiner doing that same Blue Devil dominance thing. Charles Ray and Justin Kapner right behind. And Liberty's Lane Obert running in that as well. It would be Poe with a win at a time of 16:40. Steiner comes in 9 seconds later. And then it's Cameron McDonough coming in 3rd place in 16:58. Owen Triplett, yeah, it's a 5-person finish again in 4th. Charles Ray in 5th, 17:22. Then Pleasant Hill's Lane Hubbard is your first non-Blue Devil finisher. From Burlington, it's Aaron Moorhead in a time of 17:45. Elaine Obert, 8th place. And you know what? Quincy High swept the top 5. They had 8 of the top 11. They come in 1st. QD is 2nd, and Liberty is in 3rd. So some good cross-country fun to be had out there at Bob Mays Park today. Because the Camp Point Central Route Catholic game ran to great distance and to the very last play, I was not able to make it to Rushville Industry for volleyball today. Apologies to the Illini West Chargers. We get the job done at the expense of the host squad in straight sets. Reagan Reed and Kate DeSoto were your all-tournament picks. Kate DeSoto as your libero there. So Illini West has it rolling a little bit right now. Good to see that with a new coaching staff and new regime in place, that things are going well for them. Did, however, make it all the way to Queen City this morning for the start of the Schuyler County softball tournament. We start you off with Highland and the host squad in action. Abby Lay with the bases loaded, not pitching in this first game, but helping out the cause with a sacrifice fly as the very fast Kiki Rothweiler scores right there. Then it's Addie Abel, who needed 7 hits coming into the day to reach 100 for her career. This is a sac fly, won't count, but it does give her an RBI as in the bottom of the second. The Cougars are up 3-0. The sexier runs are coming right here. It starts with Addie Abel right here. Nice. Oh, that's Abby Lay, excuse me. Nice piece of hitting for her as that drives home a run at that particular point, and that would make it 5-0. Couple of singles, or a single and a couple of RBIs. Then Manda Jennings with a 2-run single of her own right here to help extend the lead back out at that point to 7-0. And then the fun really started happening. Kiki Rothweiler, man, she's quick, and I thought this might be an inside the park home run with her speed. Turned out to be an RBI triple for Kiki. Your next batter is Addie Abel, who would get her 100th hit today. So obviously a really good day at the plate in 3 games for her. This is an RBI single for her. Then may the power of Christ compel you in this one. It's Bailey Christ stepping to the plate here, driving in a run as well. All good stuff. Not quite as good as what's to come, because Haley Winter is going to step up and give us the home run we've been chasing from her all season. When she hits bombs, she hits them as well as anybody, and this one was absolutely hit. And by the way, like Addie Abel, got her 100th career hit today. This one was just absolutely tagged. That may be still flying somewhere in beautiful, scenic Schuyler County. All Highland today in the opener as they win by the final count of 15-0. Across the diamond today, Canton Lady Tigers taking on Scotland County. Katie Guilfoyle going to start things off on the right foot for her squad. Good piece of hitting in this one with the 2-run single. And really from that point forward, Brenna Brewer really needed little else, although she got plenty of defensive help. And in this particular case, it would come from her outfielder, Kylan Ott, who comes up with a nifty catch right here, ranging in from deep to make that happen. Brenna Brewer pitching the shutout in that first game as Canton ends up with the win. 6-0 is your final in that contest. Elsewhere in softball on the day, Highland goes on to win the championship of the Schuyler County Tournament, taking down Brookfield 9-2, your final in that championship game. In the 3rd place game today, I didn't get to stay to watch Monroe City because it's a long way from Queen City to Jacksonville, and I had to be there by 1. But Monroe City gets the win over Canton in that 3rd place game, 9-7. 2 more home runs today for Audrey Youngblood, including a grand slam. And in the win against Canton, she was a 1-woman gang with 6 ribbies to help lead the cause there. Elsewhere in softball today, at the La Plata tournament, South Shelby made a run. Thought they might win this thing. Ran into a good MoCo team and lose 12-6. Congratulations to Miss Livers, who in the first game of the day against Sturgeon hit her first career home run. Mark Twain today running the table down at Herman, including in the final game game of the day, a big win over St. Clair. Lauren Haley Clark, a monster game in that one. She was 3 for 3 at the plate with 3 ribbies to help lead the way. And coming up straight ahead, Abe's hat was on the line today as Quincy University and McKendree football met head-to-head in Lebanon. We've got your highlights next.
This is KHQA Overtime with Chris Duerr, brought to you by Hollister Whitney.
Quincy University on the road in Lebanon today looking for a win at McKendree, and man, the Hawks bouncing back nicely from that loss, looking really good today. Starts right here with Drake Davis setting the table for his kicker. How about Luke Johnson with a nice catch? And that gives Michael Owens a chance to pound home a 44-yard field goal. And man, you couldn't do it much better than that. Right through the uprights, made it 3-0 at that point. Tion Dollard was a monster today, at least in the early going in this game. I know he got hurt a little bit, did return to the game. Beautiful reverse pivot run for him. And then later, it's Tion Dollard from 37 yards away from pay dirt. He is going home at that point to extend out the lead. Quincy University made a lot of good things happen. Every time McKendree would mount a threat in this one, the Hawks would respond and respond in kind. And they would also, with McKendree, sort of unravel at times from the Hawks' pressure. Off this punt, it gets muffed, and that would set the table coming up in just a bit for Kareem Carswell, who, when Tion Dollard was out, did an effective job running the football today as well for the Hawks. Looked really good. First of all, we'll show you the 1-yard touchdown he had. I mean, that's just a good plunge through a lot of different contact. Later, it's Carswell showing off his elusiveness in space because he had that working for him as well, and that's going to set up a touchdown from Mr. Davis to Derek Miller to extend the lead at that point out to 27-10. Remember, we're playing for a trophy now. It's Abe's hat, and Quincy University now owns it. There's some really amusing pictures out there of Jason Kilday wearing that hat. I hope he wears it around town and wears it proudly because he's got that stovetop hat type head. Some of us who are bald don't have that luxury. Good stuff for the Hawks today as they get the win. Elsewhere in college football, Western Illinois has a win streak going for the first time since, I believe, 2018. First ever conference game in the Big South, Ohio Valley, all Western today as the Leathernecks win 31-20. Eli Aragon with 10 catches, 129 yards, and a TD. He and Nathan Lamb have that chemistry working right now. Good to see for those of us who've watched Western's offense be moribund in recent years. That's fun stuff happening. Culver Stockton still struggling defensively. Gave up 56 today to Benedictine in a loss at home. 56-21 was your final there. Man, did Monmouth College do a number on IC today. If we would have had one more shooter, I was headed that way. I guess I'm a little glad we didn't, that Illinois College got beat that badly. But look at our man, Ethan James, the pride of Illini West for the Fighting Scots with 8 tackles today to help lead his team to victory. Good stuff there as well. And in Quincy Sprint football today, Walsh University, no match for the Quincy University Hawks, who get the win. 35-19 is your final. Want to pass along some college soccer to you as well. Rough day on the road at Park for Culver Stockton. Both the men and women shut out losers to Park 2-0 and 4-0 were your scores. And we'll have more overtime coming your way straight after this.
This is KHQA Overtime with Chris Duerr, brought to you by Hollister Whitney.
Well, this week represents an escalation in the fall sports schedule with the playoffs looming and a lot of stuff happening, and our coverage steps up starting tomorrow. Now, my man Ben Schmidt, tomorrow night at 10 o'clock, he's got a long-form feature with you, or for you, I should say, where we sat down this week with Brad Hoyt, longtime John Wood coach for men's basketball, now trying to breathe new life into the program at Quincy University, and a really interesting, candid interview with Brad coming your way right here tomorrow night at 10 o'clock with Ben. We've got a great Sensational 7 just loaded up with amazing highlights coming up. We got especially helped out by the Brown County football team this week, by the Quincy Notre Dame football team this week. Got some home runs to show you. It was a really good week for Ben. So great Sensational 7 coming up on Monday. And then on Monday, we've got postseason golf galore coming your way. Right here in town at Spring Lake, the Quincy Notre Dame boys, the Illini West boys, the West Hancock boys, and the Rushville Industry boys will all try to punch their ticket to state. We'll have coverage of that for you, as well as the Quincy Notre Dame girls over in Springfield trying to do likewise. It might have the best chance of anybody, even with freshmen in the mix. Those freshmen are awfully good, so we'll be tracking all of that golf, plus conference golf in Missouri coming your way this week as well. And then district golf for the girls. Highland's been really good coming up on Wednesday, so a lot of that coming your way. We've got features planned for you on the Quincy High School cross country team. Got some more post-mortem with Brad Dixon after Camp Point Central's big and really weird win today, and plenty more surprises planned for you throughout the week. And by the way, if you haven't figured it out yet this week, what a week for high school volleyball in our area. Coming up on Tuesday, it is Southeastern at Quincy Notre Dame, and then the game everybody in the entire area has been waiting for, Macomb v. Q&D at the Pit on Wednesday night. That's a big red circle game, kind of like Central Route football was this week. So can't wait to dive into this week again. Coming up tomorrow morning, by the way, kind of going to do a special Facebook Live because we didn't get a chance to do one on Friday, wrapping everything up, including the Camp Point Central route game. I'm going to guess that's going to hit about 10:30, 11 o'clock tomorrow as well. So if you're interested in talking some football with us, didn't get the chance on Friday night after sports final, we'll do that with you tomorrow morning. And again, can't wait to dive in. It's a great week. It's a great time to be alive. Nothing better than the fall sports postseason, which is upon us. And next week on Overtime, absolutely loaded to the gills. And I look forward to seeing you all right back here at 10:30 then.